I'm Pete Kiko, an auctioneer and a realtor. I recently had the opportunity to sit down with Ben Pigeon. He's a closing coordinator for us here at Kiko, and he comes with years of experience working for title companies. In this video, we talk about buying land and what that looks like, whether it be mineral interest, title transfers, and kind of what to expect in the closing process. Take a listen. Talk about, how this relates to land.
Okay.
So, and we've talked about title searches. We've talked, about the title work, the actual paperwork, what's recorded. Here about 5, 6, 7 years ago, mineral rights came into be a big part of the play, and it became what's actually recorded on those deeds, those properties. What mineral rights do they actually own? I mean, can you hit on kind of that process and how it, I guess it has evolved?
Sure, I think I kind of feel you out there.
Yeah.
When there is a purchase agreement signed, a lot of times there are clauses or opportunities for the sellers or whoever to hold back mineral rights, oil and gas rights,
make a
reservation.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of different things that as a seller they can do. It doesn't necessarily cloud the title by any means,
but they just might not own as much as they think they do.
It may devalue.
Right.
And when it comes to that stuff, obviously you as an agent, we always recommend that you talk to an attorney or somebody if you're thinking about doing something like that.
Right.
Just a small thing to hit on, though, would be if those reservations are made, a lot of times they're made at the time of transfer. So there won't be another deed for minerals or anything like that. It'll be on the same deed, and it'll read something to the effect of seller hereby reserves all oil and gas rights, on the property, or however it's worded differently each time, but it is a reservation, and that separates the oil and gas from the rest of the property.
And we've done that over the years. At Kiko, we've sold mineral rights that just transfer with the land. Mm-hmm. We've peeled them apart. We've peeled off and sold the gas and oil rights separate from the rest of the minerals.
Right.
When we're talking mineral rights, especially related to land, it's not just gas and oil. Gas and oil isn't the only mineral. I mean, we have timber, there's coal, gravel,
coal and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, and so a lot of times, at least the ones I've dealt with Kiko, and even prior to at the title company, most of the time it's just oil and gas. Coal is kind of a dying thing.
Yeah.
Sand and gravel, a lot of times it's really hard to separate that because you're actually taking something from the property.
Right.
That's like noticeable. If that,
You're digging in a pit,
obviously,
you're getting gravel.
So as a buyer, again, as a buyer, you would almost want to be cautious if that seller was reserving. Again, not an attorney, so I'm not advising anybody, but you'd want to be cautious as to what minerals they are reserving,
or have previously
been reserved, and that's going to come up during a title search.
Right. Exactly.
So if there is an old oil and gas lease, or maybe the minerals have been sold prior to, you kind of want to read that over, and the title company is going to provide that to the agent, the buyers, and you can look that over. Some of those, especially when Chesapeake and a few of those other companies came around early 2010s, they only lasted for 5 years. So we're now in 2021. A lot of those are probably expired.
Right.
They're not going to go away. They're still going to be on that search. There'll be an exception to the policy, but they are still there. They still exist,
but they're no longer active.
If you read it, it expired without, if it wasn't renewed by such and such a date, 2015.
It died under its own merit. Right?
Exactly
right.
So that's kind of when you get into minerals. I've always recommended, that you talk to someone that knows a little bit more about it than I do.
And I feel like I know quite a bit, but
Yeah.
again, I'm not a real estate attorney. I'm not going to pretend to
Yeah.
give legal advice.
Sure.
I will advise the best I can with the best of my knowledge.
Right.
By no means, I'm always going to defer
Yeah.
to an attorney
Yeah.
if needed.
And that's kind of with the minerals. It gets really funny sometimes.
There's fine hairs that have been split in
Right.
some of these, and yes, exactly.